Social Security benefits. Is there any alternative to Social Security benefits that you can definitely rely on without any worries? And yes, we are talking about all those Social Security recipients who receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI benefits, people receiving SSI benefits, supplemental security income, Social Security disability insurance, VA, RRB, survivors, retirement beneficiaries. Today in this video, we have got exciting topic to discuss a new concept that could potentially replace Social Security program that involving $7,000. And this new concept could potentially replace the Social Security program involving $7,000. Yes, I'll be providing you all the details what you need to know right here in this video. So before we get into all the important details, make sure to hit that like, share this video, subscribe to our channel, do turn on all the bell notifications so you can stay updated to all the changes happening around you. And guys, without a further ado, let's get right into all the details. Now, you know what? The Social Security Administration benefits, the Social Security fixed income benefits administered by Social Security Administration are kind of a hot topic. Now, recently in my couple of videos, I have mentioned that I wouldn't be surprised if Social Security were to be replaced in the distant future, let's say 20 years, 30 years, or even 40 years from now. However, please note that Social Security will remain in place as long as it undergoes financial changes. But let's focus on to the details of this new concept involving $7,000 and its potential to grow into millions of dollars for beneficiaries. Exciting, isn't it? Let's talk about all the details. Alright guys, so let's talk about the concept. This concept has gained a lot of support from prominent figure Bill Ackman. For those unfamiliar with the name, Bill Ackman is a billionaire and manager of significant hedge fund that oversees billions and billions of dollars. His endorsement lands weight, and here is what they are suggesting. The federal government should establish a program that provides a newborn with $7,000. Yes, you heard it right. At the birth, baby would receive sum of money from the government. Now this might sound ridiculous, but pay attention to this because this is where it gets really interesting. The $7,000 would be invested into the index fund into the stock market. And by the time the person would turn age 65, that initial investment of the $7,000 would have grown into staggering $1 million. I mean, incredible, isn't it? This is the way the growth really occurs. That's the way compounding, that's the power of the compounding, how money grows with compounding, and with the investment averaging about 8% to 7% annual return over 65 years, such a return would lead to substantial accumulation of the wealth. Certainly, this one sounds really awesome, and I'm sure many of you would love to achieve such financial goals, such financial security. However, guys, there is the other side of the coin. There is the other side of the equation. There are few questions that arise regarding the proposal. First, let me address the cost. Bill Ackman estimates that implementing this program would cost federal government about $20 billion annually. Now, $20 billion may seem like a significant amount to you, but at the federal government level, it's relatively insignificant amount of money. It's not too much for government. They can handle much larger sums without any worries. So, in terms of the cost, it seems totally possible. Now, here is the thing to consider. If we were to implement such a kind of a program today, if we were to implement this program, let's say hypothetically, of course, and let's take a look at the future ahead of the 65 years from now. Now, what would be the purchasing power of the $1? Would it remain the same? Well, I highly doubt it. You know, the current rising high inflation and how the currencies are evolving and changing over time. In fact, it's quite likely that in 65 years, traditional dollars may not even exist. You know, they are trying to implement the digital currencies already by now, so dollar would have been replaced by other sort of a digital currency. So the value of the money would differ significantly. And also we must acknowledge that $1 million in 65 years won't hold the true amount of the benefits, won't hold the true power of the money, and it's really fascinating to see how the value of the money changes over time. To understand this point, let's say I made $1 million in year 2000. Now, that $1 million in the year 2000 held a completely different significance compared value today. Back then, in the year 2000, $1 million was considered enormous wealth. You know, somebody would think really you was the richest guy in the town. But that same $1 million right now wouldn't cost too much. The actual value of the money, you know what, right now in the year 2023, that same $1 million would have changed a lot. The value of money has depreciated over the years. Now, let's fast forward today. If someone were to win $1 million, it would still bring immense joy, lot of excitement. However, it's very important to acknowledge that $1 million today doesn't go as far as it did 23, 24, or even 30 years ago. If we were to adjust it for the inflation, $1 million today is something like $500,000 or $600,000 in the past. The purchasing power of the money diminished rapidly. Now let's consider the future 65 years from now. That same $1 million won't hold the same amount of value either. It's kind of unrealistic to expect that it would actually hold the same amount of value $1 million in the year 2023. The cost of living continue to raise, as you may know, and the value of money will be going to decrease further. So while having a $1 million sounds like a significant sum, it won't hold the same amount of the benefits in your hands in the distant future. And furthermore, let's not forget about the taxes. If somebody accumulates $1 million over the period of time and want to tap that money for the retirement to enjoy their life, the government will undoubtedly want their fair share into the tax revenues, and it's important to understand that taxes will eat and basically significantly reducing the amount available to the person for use. So the idea of investing $7,000 at the birth and watching it grow until the $1 million by someone turn age 65 is somewhat misleading, I would say. They are not taking into account the taxes, the value of the money, how it depreciates over the period of time. $1 million in the past and $1 million in the future is not the same thing. While it sounds kind of appealing, overlooks the depreciation of the money, impact of the taxes, and the changing financial landscape over time. It's really crucial to have a realistic understanding of the value of the money and diminishing purchasing power over the years. To take in account this concept, the depletion of the US dollar should be considered. Also, the US dollar's purchasing power over time, the value of the dollar tends to diminish as the inflation takes toll. While any number may sound impressive, millions of dollars, the actual value of the millions of dollars in the future may not be substantial as it seems today. We need to factor in the taxes. As we all know, the taxes are consistent in our life and they are not likely to decrease over the time. In fact, they are more reasonable to assume that taxes will only increase moving forward as years progress. So when we envision that $1 million, we must also account considerable amount of money will be deducted due to the taxes, and moving forward till the age 65 from now, the hypothetical $1 million may be reduced to around 30 to 40% due to the taxes, and suddenly we find ourselves with only about $600,000 or $700,000. Now what we can really do with that amount? Unfortunately, due to the continued depletion of the dollar value, $600,000 to $700,000 may be equivalent to mere $200,000 in today's terms, or even less amount. Now don't get me wrong, $150,000 or $200,000 is still considerable sum that could do a lot of good. It could significantly improve our life situation, but you know what? It's crucial to recognize that it falls short of becoming a millionaire and having a life of luxury in retirement. It's important to approach this with a critical eye. The reality is that the true value of the impact of the sum will be significantly diminished by the factors such as inflation and taxes. I would like to hear your thoughts about this idea. It's really worth exploring the further details. So guys, do let me know what do you think about it. Make sure to hit that like, share this video, subscribe, and this is Kedar from How to Guys. See you in the next video.